recipes, which actually makes it taste much better. Because you want to be really healthy, you could leave the sugar out, or you could use something like honey or concentrated apple juice. And then we just let that cook actually. But what you have to be very careful of is this sticks very easily. So you have to sort of stay with it really, and keep stirring from time to time, because what you don't want to happen is it sticks to the pan, and you get that awful burnt taste, which just ruins everything.
Okay.
So, Ushiben's done a lovely job here. Just kept stirring the curry, because as I said before, you can have a stick at the bottom, or the other thing, it just flows over the top. And as you can see, it's lovely now. It's lovely and smooth, it's thickened, and this is a perfect accompaniment to our rice dish that we just made.
Okay,
the next dish we're going to make is a cauliflower and pea sabji. Again, this is a very traditional dish in South Gujarat. And what we're going to do is start with oil this time, because you generally use oil rather than ghee in a sabji. Okay, we're going to heat the oil, get it nice and hot, and then we're going to use some black mustard seeds. We'll just get that nice and hot. As soon as the black mustard seeds start popping, then we're going to add some turmeric. There's about half a teaspoonful of turmeric in there, and just a pinch of asafoetida or hing, and again a few curry leaves. If you can't get curry leaves, as I said before, you can just use about half a bay leaf or something like that. And then we've got some crushed chilli and crushed ginger. So there's about quarter of an inch piece of ginger, just crushed up, and half a chilli. Again, that's just ground up. If you haven't got a grinder, you can use a liquidizer and do that. And then we add our vegetables, a little bit of salt, and we just let it stew in the pan. So nothing could be simpler, so it seems. Actually, there's quite a knack to using these spices. I've been here for 3 months, and I think I'm just starting to get the hang of it. It feels like it's an intuitive thing, really, after a while. So we just put the pan on, and we're going to add just 2 tablespoons full of oil. Okay, so you can use any oil really. I mean, here they use groundnut oil, so you get groundnut oil, and that's really traditional. And then I'm just going to put a few mustard seeds in the oil, and because all I want to do is add the mustard seeds as soon as they start popping. So I'm just going to let that heat up a bit really. And as I said before, in Indian cooking, it's all about the spices. The spices are very beneficial for your digestion. Like ginger is superb for your health as well, so it's good. Ginger and chilli really stimulate digestion, but they also stimulate your circulation as well, which is really good. And funnily enough, hot food in a hot climate actually cools you down, which is a bit of a paradox, but that's the way it seems to work really. And the turmeric, again, has many health-giving qualities really. It's supposed to purify the body, and also it can, some people say it helps with arthritis and joint pains and that sort of thing. So again, there's lots and lots of benefits really to using all these spices. It's not just the taste, they don't just taste good, they're actually good for you. So there's a bit of popping starting to happen here, so I just want to wait until these seeds really start popping, then I'll add the rest of the seeds to it. And as I was saying before, in Indian cookery there is sort of a spiritual aspect as well. Always in India, that food has been really respected actually, and that's what I always find, that when you cook, it's sort of nice feeling, feeling happy, or you want to do it, then the food always tastes really good. If you find you're cooking and it's a bit of an agitation, you're not sure you want to do it, then the food never seems to taste right. Oh, it never comes, or it always burns, and it makes you feel worse, and then people come to eat it, and they feel agitated when they eat it, and they don't want to eat it. Because there's an amazing connection between us and the food. And it may sound strange, but it's actually true, and that's been my experience through trial and error. I've been cooking now for about 20 years or something, and that's what I found. At first I didn't know anything about it, so I just started cooking, and like everyone had different moods. But I just noticed when I was in a good mood, then everyone liked it. When I was in a bad mood, then no one liked it at all, really. And luckily now, I'm not in a bad mood very often, because I do lots of yoga and meditation, that's something that helps. But, and I make a point of when I cook, I know it's a responsibility. I'm not just making a meal because people are hungry. It's actually my responsibility that people, when they eat it, actually feel good, as well as being nourished. So let's see how the how they're doing. They're just getting ready, I think. Okay, and it's lovely. Again, we're using fresh peas. Okay, because in India, that's where we are now, you can't get frozen peas, and it's actually quite nice. I haven't used fresh peas for years, but it's amazing. It's, you know, just getting the habit of throwing in frozen vegetables. But when we're sort of putting the peas, it takes quite a while actually. There's actually something really beautiful about it. You just sit there, and put these peas and just be really with yourself. And it's really, really nice. So I'm grateful actually that for 3 months I haven't had frozen food. But again, we have to be practical, you know, we have limited time. So, and it's quite difficult to get fresh peas in Britain anyway. So if you are using frozen peas, which you probably will be, then I think add them later in the cooking, because obviously frozen peas are part cooked. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to add half a teaspoon full of mustard seeds, okay? They just go in and just crackling nicely, okay? We don't want them all to crackle. And then when about half of them have popped, we're going to add the ginger and the cumin, okay? That's nice. And then we've got the spices, okay? Turmeric, curry leaves and hing, that goes in. And quickly, so they don't burn, we add the peas, okay? Because what you don't want is for the powdered spices can burn very easily. Now that's quite a fierce pan at the moment, so I'm just going to turn that down a little bit. Okay, that's lovely. So because I did the peas straight away, then it stops the spices from burning. And then I've got the cauliflower. Mix the cauliflower in. Then I just give that a good stir, just so all the vegetables are coated in the oil and in the spices. And again, the colours are lovely. The turmeric, again, not only gives it a nice taste, it's good for your health, but it gives it that lovely colour as well. So it's just amazing. Okay, so just, now what is nice about Indian cooking is that, you know, at home if you have boiled veg, okay, we all know that a lot of the nutrients go in the water. We can steam the veg and that's an improvement, but again you still lose some of the nutrients. What's really nice about Indian cooking is everything stays in this pan, okay? We're going to braise the vegetables. So there's no water we're going to pour away at the end. So we just stir that, stir through all the spices. It looks fantastic. I'm getting really hungry actually, so I can't wait to try this. And we just turn the gas down quite low, okay, so you just want it to simmer. And then we put a lid on. And then the vegetables just cook in their own heat. It just steams, a lot of steam coming off, the steam condenses, comes down. They're just going to cook there. And it'll take about 10 or 15 minutes. And all you have to do is don't disappear for 10 or 15 minutes, it'll probably burn, okay? So you have to stir it every few minutes, just come back and stir it, it'll be really amazing. And then you add some more spices just to make it really delicious. Salt, and it's lovely. And here we are, and magically it's 10 minutes later. So let's see how the vegetables are doing. Well, I know because I've been sort of stirring them now and then to stop them from burning. So just take that off, okay? And look at that, it looks fantastic. Everything's cooked. It's a lovely colour. There's a lovely smell coming off it. I can't tell you what it's like, it's indescribable. Okay, so we just stir that a little bit more. And then we're going to add some more spices. Now we add some of the spices now, because we had them earlier, to actually lose quite a lot of the flavour. So then right at the end of the cooking. So we've got some ground coriander here. So we're just going to add a good heaped teaspoonful of ground coriander there. A bit more, about 1.5 to 2 teaspoons of coriander. Just stir that in. That's lovely, the smell coming off That is fantastic. It's just fresh herbs. And what we often do actually here is not just buy them in a packet, actually take the coriander seeds, roast them, then grind them up. Then the flavour is absolutely fantastic. And then we've got 1 teaspoonful of garam masala. Sprinkle that in. That's lovely. Oh, I can smell that as well. It's lovely to smell of cloves and nutmeg, all sorts of things. It's amazing. And then finally, we add some salt. Okay? So generally, Gujarati food is quite salty. So I'm actually going to add quite a lot of salt. You could add less if you want to, if you use less salt. So I've got about a teaspoonful of salt. And just mix all that in. Just mix all the lovely flavours together. And then finally, just to finish off with, we've got some fresh coriander, okay? And fresh coriander is definitely available in areas where there's Indian shops, okay? But increasingly you get it in supermarkets and what have you, and it just adds that real extra something to the dish. And there we have it, a lovely cauliflower and pea sabji. I have a second vegetable dish just to go with the pea and cauliflower sabji, and this is going to be a lovely aubergine and potato sabji. Okay, so in this it's similar to the sabji we just made. So we start off with some lovely mustard seeds, then we put in some cumin seeds, and the same spices we had before, the ginger and chilli. We've got some turmeric, a little bit of asafoetida, sorry, and some curry leaves. And then we add the aubergine and the potato. Let that cook for a little bit, because they're going to cook quicker than the tomatoes. And then we add the other spices, okay? So we start off with some oil. So we're going to use 2 tablespoons full of oil. Okay, it just goes in, it's lovely and hot. And as before, we're going to add some mustard seeds. A little bit of water in there, just sizzling away. So we just add a few mustard seeds, just so as soon as they start crackling, we know the temperature's about right. We can add the rest of the mustard seeds. Now, as you can see, Indian cookery, it's all about preparation, okay? The actual cooking part is quite easy. Everything's got to be ready. Once you start cooking, you can't be sort of looking, where's the turmeric? It'll all start burning. So everything has to be here. As you can see, I've got it all laid out nicely. So it's just like Chinese cooking, really. So we're going to put in half a teaspoon full of mustard seeds. Just let them crackle away, okay? Half a teaspoon full of cumin seeds, they're going in. That's lovely, they cook a short time. Then we add the ginger and the chilli. And again, speed is of the essence now. We just add the powdered spices. We don't want them to burn, so we're going to add the aubergine. That's lovely. We'll just stir that through. That's fantastic. Right, okay, that's really good. Smells amazing. When you get the spices right, it's just so incredible. And then we add the potato, and we're just going to cook this for a few moments, because we're going to add tomatoes next. They're obviously going to cook a lot quicker than these, okay? So we're just stirring it, getting all the spices mixed in with the aubergines and the potatoes, so it's really lovely. And as I said before, the energy you're putting into the food is really important, okay? So now while I'm doing this, I'm really putting in a nice, sort of loving energy, really. And that'll make a big difference to the way the meal tastes, how people feel when they eat it. Because all my energy is sort of surrounding this food, really. It goes into the food, and when people eat it, it affects them. So just stir that for a few moments. Okay. And now I'm just going to turn the heat down a little bit. I'm going to add half a cup of water, and then I'm going to put the lid on again, and I'm just going to let that cook for 5 minutes. And here we are again, and as I said, 5 minutes, but we are in India, and I did mean an Indian 5 minutes, so it's actually been more like a quarter of an hour really when I calculate it. to English time. And what we're looking for actually, it's not a time as such, but we want it so that potatoes are nice and tender, okay, they're actually cooked. Because when we put the tomatoes in, put tomatoes in